Welcome back to my channel, Pocket Change Coins. If you're excited about finding hidden gems in your pocket change, you're in the right place. First, we're going to uncover some of the most valuable and rare US coins that could be worth a fortune. Let's dive in. We're talking about the 2015 Homestead Quarter from Nebraska, minted in Philadelphia, marked with the letter P. Now, you might be asking, a 2015 quarter? That's not even that old. How could it be valuable? And that's exactly why this coin is so intriguing. While many people think only antique coins are worth collecting, the truth is that even modern quarters can carry jaw-dropping value, if they have the right features, condition, or minting anomalies. Let's begin with the story behind this coin. The Homestead Quarter was released as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which ran from 2010 to 2021. This ambitious initiative honored national parks, historic sites, and significant landmarks in all 50 states and U.S. territories. For Nebraska, the featured site was Homestead National Monument of America, a place that commemorates one of the most transformative laws in U.S. history, the Homestead Act of 1862. This act gave Americans, especially settlers and pioneers, an opportunity to claim land and build a life in the vast, open territories of the West. It was a time of courage, grit, and hope for a better future. The design of the coin reflects these themes perfectly. On the reverse side, you'll see a simple wooden house, a pump for drawing water, and 2 stalks of corn, symbols that represent shelter, sustenance, and growth. It's a quiet, almost humble design, but it's full of meaning. It tells the story of ordinary Americans who took on an extraordinary challenge to make the land their own. Now, let's get to the part that collectors really care about, why this quarter is special and how much it could be worth. The majority of Homestead quarters were produced for everyday circulation. That means most of them have been through cash registers, vending machines, pockets, and purses. They've been scratched, dinged, and worn down. But a small number, just a tiny percentage, came off the minting presses with either perfect condition or rare and valuable minting errors, and that's where the treasure hunt begins. First up, condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a flawless, perfect coin. If you have a Homestead quarter that's uncirculated, meaning it has no wear, still has its mint luster, and looks like it just came out of a brand new roll, then you already have something of interest. High-grade examples, especially those professionally graded at MS67, MS68, or higher, can sell for well above face value, but where it gets even more exciting is with mint errors, those rare and often unnoticed mistakes made during production. Believe it or not, the 2015 Homestead Quarter is famous in the collector world for having some fascinating and unusual errors. One of the most talked about is the snow on the roof error, a die chip that appears as a white patch or bump on the roof of the Homestead house, making it look like snow is sitting on top. Then there's the extra water pump handle error, where an extra metal impression near the pump handle creates the illusion of a second handle. Some quarters even show doubling in the lettering or design, which can result in strange shadows or bold-looking letters. These aren't your average factory mistakes. They're documented varieties that collectors hunt for. If your 2015 Homestead Quarter has one of these anomalies and is in excellent condition, its value can skyrocket. Now, let's not forget about the mint mark. We're talking specifically about the quarters that were minted in Philadelphia, which carry a P on the obverse side of the coin. While the Denver and San Francisco mints also produce their own versions, it's the P mint mark coins with errors or pristine quality that have become especially sought after in recent years. So how do you know if your coin is one of these valuable pieces? It starts with a close examination. Look at your coin under a magnifying glass or a good light. Inspect the roof for unusual bumps or chips. Check the water pump, the corn stalks, the lettering. If anything looks doubled, off-center, or simply different from the standard design, you might have something rare. Once you suspect you found a treasure, don't leave it to chance. Have it graded by a professional service like PCGS, Professional Coin Grading Service, or NGC, Numismatic Guarantee Company. These experts can confirm the authenticity of your coin, identify the variety or error, and assign an official grade that gives your coin credibility and value on the collector's market. And now, the part you've been waiting for. You might be wondering, if I've got one of these Homestead quarters in uncirculated condition, or one with a verified mint error like the famous Snow on the Roof die chip or doubled lettering, what is it worth? Well, collectors have paid as much as $60,000. For rare and high-quality examples of the 2015 Homestead quarter with the right combination of condition and error. That's right, $60,000 for a coin you could have sitting in your spare change right now. It's incredible to think that something so small and so easily overlooked can carry that kind of value. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about money, it's about discovery, history, and the thrill of finding something rare in the most unexpected places. So, if you haven't checked your quarters lately, now is the time. Go through your collection, check those old jars and drawers, and keep a sharp eye out for that 2015 Homestead quarter. It might just change your life. Second rare coin, we're talking about the 2014 Great Sand Dunes quarter, specifically the version minted in Denver, marked with the letter D. This quarter is more than just a piece of spare change, it's a miniature tribute to one of the most remarkable landscapes in the United States, and if you've got the right one, it could turn into a small fortune. Let's first talk about the coin's origin and design. Released in 2014 as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, this coin represents Great Sand Dunes National Park and Preserve in Colorado. The park is home to the tallest sand dunes in North America, some reaching over 750 feet high, nestled against the backdrop of the Sangre de Cristo Mountains. It's a place where nature shows off both its beauty and power, a mix of soft sands and rugged peaks. The coin captures this striking scenery perfectly. On the reverse, you see a tender and peaceful image, a father and child playing at the edge of a creek with the massive dunes behind them. It's a moment frozen in time that reminds us how the most majestic places on Earth can also be the most personal. This design isn't just beautiful, it's symbolic of the connection between people and the land. But let's move beyond the design and get into what every collector wants to know: why is this quarter valuable, and what should you look out for? To understand that, you need to know how coins are made. The U.S. Mint produces billions of coins every year, and while their quality control is strict, no system is perfect. Mistakes happen, tiny flaws, missed alignments, or equipment issues can lead to minting errors, and these are the golden tickets for collectors. The 2014 Great Sand Dunes quarter is known among enthusiasts for a variety of potential errors and unique traits that, when combined with mint condition, can dramatically increase its value. One of the most notable errors collectors have reported is doubling, especially in the letters or features of the coin. This is when the design is stamped more than once, creating a kind of shadow or blur around the letters or details. It can be subtle, but when you spot it, it's clear something unusual and valuable is going on. There have also been examples of die cracks, which appear as tiny raised lines on the surface of the coin. These are the result of wear and tear on the dies used to stamp the design onto the metal. A die crack might seem like a defect, but to collectors, it's a rare feature that increases a coin's appeal. Other valuable traits include off-center strikes, clad layer errors, where the outer layer of metal is missing or partially peeled, and strike-throughs, where debris got between the die and the coin during production. These kinds of errors don't just make the coin unique, they make it worth hunting for. But rarity isn't the only factor, condition is equally important. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being a perfect coin that shows no flaws under magnification. If your Great Sand Dunes quarter is in mint state, especially MS 67 or higher, it becomes far more desirable. Combine this with one of the errors we mentioned, and you've got a coin that could fetch serious money from a collector or at auction. So how do you know if your quarter is special? Start by flipping through your change and checking for the D mint mark. You'll find it on the obverse side, right next to George Washington's ponytail. Then, grab a magnifying glass or even your phone's zoom camera and examine both sides of the coin carefully. Look at the text, the images, the edges. Any signs of doubling, cracks, or odd surface features could mean you've struck gold. Well, not literally gold, but definitely value. If you believe you've got something rare, the best thing to do is have the coin professionally graded by services like NGC or PCGS. They'll evaluate the authenticity, check for errors, assign a grade, and certify your coin so you can sell it with confidence. Now, here's the part you've been waiting for, the potential value. Most Great Sand Dunes quarters are worth exactly what you'd expect, 25 cents. But if you find a rare error coin in exceptional uncirculated condition, it could be worth as much as $40,000. Yes, you heard that right, $40,000 for a single quarter that's been sitting quietly in circulation since 2014. Before you spend that next quarter or toss it into the change jar, take a closer look. You never know, you could be holding a hidden treasure, one of the rarest modern quarters out there. Third expensive coin, we're talking about the 2017 Ozark Riverways quarter, specifically the D Mint mark from the Denver Mint. Now, you might be wondering, why should I care about a quarter from 2017? Well, the story behind this coin is much more than just a piece of currency. It's a glimpse into the natural beauty of the Ozark National Scenic Riverways in Missouri, one of the most picturesque spots in the country. But the real kicker is that this coin could potentially be worth a lot more than its 25-cent value. Stick with us until the end, because by the time you finish watching, you'll know exactly why this coin could be worth $30,000. Yes, you heard that right, $30,000. Let's start by diving into the design and history of the Ozark Riverways quarter. The coin is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which was introduced in 2010 and ran through 2021. Each coin in this program features a unique design honoring a national park or historic site, and the Ozark Riverways was one of the highlights in 2017. This national park is famous for its scenic rivers, lush forests, and stunning limestone bluffs. The quarter beautifully represents this by depicting a canoeist paddling along one of the park's pristine rivers, surrounded by the dense forests and bluffs that make the Ozark so special. The reverse side of the coin, which features the park's design, is where the magic happens. The illustration captures the spirit of the Ozark Riverways in all its natural glory. The design doesn't just showcase a breathtaking landscape, it embodies the sense of adventure and exploration that comes with visiting one of America's hidden gems. It's a truly artistic and inspiring tribute to the park's natural beauty, but here's the twist: this quarter, while beautiful, also has the potential to be much more than just a beautiful piece of art. Why? Because like many coins in the America the Beautiful series, the 2017 Ozark Riverways quarter has some rare traits that can make it extremely valuable to collectors. You see, every year, millions of quarters are minted, but very few are in perfect condition or contain minting errors that make them truly rare. The 2017 Ozark Riverways quarter is no exception, but for a coin like this, rarity is everything. A key factor that can drive up the value is the coin's condition. Most of the quarters in circulation have been worn down over time, whether they've been used in vending machines, handled by countless people, or tossed around in coin jars. But if you happen to have one of these quarters in mint state condition, that's when things start to get interesting. Coins that are uncirculated, meaning they have never been used for transactions and are in perfect condition, are highly coveted by collectors. And if your Ozark Riverways quarter is graded highly, such as an MS 67 or above, it can significantly increase its value. But that's not all. Some of these quarters, though they might look perfectly normal at first glance, can have minting errors. These rare mistakes happen during the production process and can make a coin one of a kind. Errors like double strikes, where part of the design is stamped multiple times, or off-center strikes, where the design isn't aligned properly on the coin, are particularly prized by collectors. Even die cracks or unusual textures on the coin's surface can drive up its price. These kinds of errors are rare, and when they appear on a coin like the Ozark Riverways quarter, they can make it incredibly valuable. Now, you might be asking, how do I know if my Ozark Riverways quarter is worth something? It's simple. Start by checking the D Mint mark on the obverse side of the coin, which is located next to George Washington's shoulder. This mint mark indicates that your coin was produced at the Denver Mint. Then, take a close look at the design on the reverse side. Examine the river, the canoeist, and the surrounding details. If you notice anything unusual, like the aforementioned errors or any signs of wear and tear on the design, you might be holding a coin that's worth a lot more than you thought. another important step is to get the coin professionally graded. There are companies like PCGS or NGC that specialize in evaluating and grading coins. They will inspect the coin, assign it a grade based on its condition, and give you a clear idea of its true value. With a high-grade coin, you'll know exactly how much your Ozark Riverways quarter could be worth. So, what are we talking about in terms of actual value? While a regular, circulated 2017 Ozark Riverways quarter might only be worth its face value of 25 cents, an uncirculated coin in perfect condition or with a rare minting error can fetch a staggering price. In fact, if you have one of these rare and high-quality quarters, you could be holding a coin worth as much as $30,000. Yes, you read that right, $30,000 for a quarter that could be sitting in your collection or hidden in a coin jar. Imagine that. A quarter from 2017, which is still relatively new, could be worth tens of thousands of dollars. It's crazy to think that such a small, unassuming coin could carry so much value, but that's the beauty of coin collecting. With the right combination of rarity, condition, and timing, your collection can grow in value in ways you never expected. So, before you spend or stash away your Ozark Riverways quarter, take a moment to inspect it. You just might have a hidden treasure on your hands. Coins like this one prove that in the world of numismatics, you never know when you'll strike it rich with a simple piece of change. Especially, we're focusing on a special coin that you might have missed, the 2015 Harper's Ferry quarter from the D Mint mark. This coin is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, and trust me, it's got a story to tell. At first glance, it might look like just another quarter in your pocket, but there's more to this coin than meets the eye. For collectors, the Harper's Ferry quarter holds a significant place in American history, and if you've got one in the right condition, you could be holding something worth a pretty penny. So stick with me until the end because we're about to uncover exactly why this coin could be worth $20,000. Yes, you heard that correctly, $20,000. Let's start with a little history behind the Harper's Ferry quarter. The America the Beautiful Quarters program was launched in 2010, and it showcases the beauty and significance of national parks, historic landmarks, and other iconic American sites. The Harper's Ferry National Historical Park was one of the key sites honored in this program in 2015. Harper's Ferry, located in West Virginia, is a site filled with rich history. It played a major role in the Civil War and is known for its pivotal role in the abolitionist movement, thanks to John Brown's raid in 1859. It's also a symbol of the fight for freedom and justice in America. Now, this is where the coin gets interesting. The reverse side of the Harper's Ferry quarter features an image of John Brown's fort, a historic building that stood at the heart of the raid. The design on the coin captures the fort against the backdrop of the rugged terrain, embodying the significance of this landmark in American history. Above the fort, you'll see a representation of the Potomac River, with its flowing waters, which is an essential feature of the landscape around the area. But what makes the Harper's Ferry quarter really stand out is the rarity and condition that make certain coins from the series so valuable. Like all coins, many of these quarters were circulated, and most of them are in fairly ordinary condition, worn down by years of use in transactions. However, the real value lies in uncirculated coins, those that have never been in circulation and are in pristine condition. Coins like these are rare, and their value increases significantly. Now, let's talk about what makes this coin really worth something. In addition to being in great condition, the Harper's Ferry quarter is also highly sought after because of its limited mintage. Even though the U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters, only a select few were well preserved and have the right qualities to make them valuable. As with any collectible, the condition is paramount. Mint state coins, those graded MS-65 or higher, are in demand, and their value can skyrocket. The more perfect the coin, the more it can fetch. You might be wondering how you can tell if your coin has the qualities that make it valuable. Well, the first step is to carefully examine your Harper's Ferry quarter. If it shows no signs of wear, discoloration, or scratches, it might be a good candidate for grading. The next thing to check for are any minting errors. These can include things like off-center strikes, double strikes, or even die cracks. Errors in the minting process can drastically increase a coin's value because they make it unique and one of a kind. If you spot any abnormalities in the design or striking of the coin, it could make your quarter more valuable. If you're still not sure whether your coin is in valuable condition or has any errors, it's worth considering getting it professionally graded. There are companies like PCGS and NGC that specialize in evaluating coins and assigning them a grade based on their quality. A high-grade Harper's Ferry quarter can fetch impressive prices, especially if it's in perfect condition or has a rare minting error. So, you're probably asking, what can I expect to get for this coin? Well, a typical Harper's Ferry quarter might be worth just its face value, 25 cents, if it's been used in circulation. But for those of you lucky enough to have a perfectly preserved, uncirculated coin, or one with a rare minting error, the value could reach astounding numbers. $20,000 is what collectors are willing to pay for a high-grade example of this quarter. That's right, $20,000 for a coin that most people would overlook in their change jar. It's truly incredible to think that a 2015 quarter could be worth such a large amount. Coins like the Harper's Ferry quarter demonstrate just how valuable and rewarding coin collecting can be. If you happen to have one of these beauties lying around, it might be time to take a closer look. You could be holding a piece of American history that's worth a small fortune. Before you spend or toss that coin, make sure to inspect it closely. And remember, coins like these don't come around every day, so if you find one in great condition, you could have a future windfall on your hands. Be sure to share this video with your friends and fellow collectors so they can keep an eye out for valuable coins like the Harper's Ferry quarter too. Next coin, we're talking about the Nebraska State Quarter, minted in 2006, with AD mint mark. This coin may seem like just another part of the America the Beautiful series, but it holds some serious value. Stick with us because by the end of this video, you'll find out why this quarter could be worth $45,000. Now, let's take a step back and look at the significance of the Nebraska State Quarter in the first place. As part of the 50 State Quarters program, the U.S. Mint issued these state quarters between 1999 and 2008. Each state was given a unique quarter design that represented its history, culture, and natural beauty. Nebraska's quarter, which was issued in 2006, is no exception. The reverse of the Nebraska State Quarter features a stunning image of a bison with a backdrop of the Chimney Rock Formation. Chimney Rock is a prominent landmark in Nebraska and a key part of the state's history. It served as a guidepost for pioneers traveling westward along the Oregon Trail in the 19th century. The bison, a symbol of the American frontier, complements this scene, representing Nebraska's rich natural heritage and its role in the story of westward expansion. The simple, yet powerful design captures the essence of Nebraska's role in shaping America, but the story of this quarter doesn't end with its design. Now, let's talk about the value of this coin, because that's what has really piqued the interest of collectors. The Nebraska State Quarter was produced in millions, which means most of them are circulating and don't carry a high value. However, like many state quarters, the key to determining its value lies in the condition and rarity of the coin. A circulated coin, which has been through regular use and shows signs of wear and tear, is usually worth just its face value of 25 cents. But that's not the case for all Nebraska quarters. For those of you who have been lucky enough to stumble upon one in uncirculated condition, it could be worth a whole lot more. An uncirculated coin is one that has never been used in circulation, and these are the real gems that collectors are after. But what makes the Nebraska State Quarter so special? As with many coins in the State Quarters program, there's a certain rarity associated with uncirculated examples. Although the U.S. Mint produced millions of these quarters, the number that have remained in perfect condition is far fewer. Over time, coins get damaged, scratched, and tarnished through normal use, so finding one that looks as fresh as the day it was minted is a rare treat. What really drives up the value of this coin is its grading. Coins are graded based on their physical condition, and this can make all the difference when it comes to their market value. If your Nebraska State Quarter is graded as MS 65 or higher by a reputable grading company like PCGS or NGC, you could be looking at a significant increase in its worth. But wait, there's more. While most of these coins are not worth much beyond face value, some collectors pay top dollar for certain errors. Minting errors are a rarity in themselves and can increase a coin's value dramatically. For example, if your quarter has an off-center strike, double die, or any other rare error, you might have a piece that could go for thousands of dollars. Error coins are highly sought after because of their uniqueness, and they're often the ones that can truly change the value of a coin from a simple quarter to a major collector's prize. Now that we've covered some of the details about this coin, you're probably wondering, how much could this coin actually be worth? While most of the Nebraska state quarters from 2006 are worth their face value or slightly more in uncirculated condition, there are special cases where the value can soar. If you have an uncirculated Nebraska state quarter that is in mint condition, or even better, an error coin, it could be worth a jaw-dropping $45,000, yes, you heard that right, $45,000 for a coin that many people overlook in their change. The value lies in the rarity and the condition of the coin, and if you've managed to hang on to a pristine example, you could be sitting on a small fortune. So, what should you do if you think you have one of these rare and valuable quarters? First, check your coin's condition. If it's uncirculated and in excellent shape, it's worth keeping safe and considering getting it graded. Secondly, inspect your coin for any minting errors. If you notice something unusual about your quarter, don't dismiss it. It could be an error coin that makes it even more valuable. Finally, if you think you have a valuable coin, consider reaching out to a professional numismatist or a reputable coin dealer to get an accurate appraisal. Before we wrap up, let's just take a moment to appreciate how fascinating the world of coin collecting can be. Coins like the Nebraska state quarter are more than just currency, they're pieces of history. Each one tells a story of the past, and with the right eye and a little luck, you might just stumble upon a coin that's worth a fortune. Last unique coin, we're diving into a piece of history that may have slipped under your radar, the New Jersey state quarter, minted in 1999 with the P mint mark. This coin, part of the iconic 50 state quarters program, might seem like just another regular quarter at first glance, but it has the potential to be worth far more than you could imagine. Stick with us, because by the end of this video, we'll reveal why this New Jersey quarter could be worth $67,000. Let's start with some background. The New Jersey state quarter was released in 1999, as part of the second batch of state quarters to be issued by the U.S. Mint. This coin was the third in the series to represent its state and was released alongside quarters from Delaware and Pennsylvania. New Jersey, being one of the original 13 colonies, holds a significant place in American history, and its quarter reflects that heritage beautifully. On the reverse of the New Jersey quarter, we see a picture-perfect design that's rich in historical significance. The design features a depiction of George Washington crossing the Delaware River, a momentous event during the American Revolutionary War. This iconic image is one of the most well-known depictions of Washington's leadership and the struggle for independence, symbolizing the bravery and determination of the Continental Army. The artwork was inspired by the famous painting by Emanuel Leutze and is framed by a banner reading, "Crossing the Delaware," along with the state name, New Jersey. This design is not only visually stunning but also represents the pivotal role New Jersey played in the founding of the United States. For a state that was a key battleground during the Revolutionary War, this quarter honors that legacy while commemorating New Jersey's contribution to the formation of the country. But now, let's get into the part you've all been waiting for, the value of the New Jersey state quarter. While many of these quarters are still in circulation and worth just 25 cents, the true value of this coin lies in its condition and rarity. In the world of coin collecting, certain mint conditions and even errors can make a huge difference in a coin's worth. Most of the New Jersey state quarters you come across will likely be in circulated condition, meaning they've been used in daily transactions and show signs of wear and tear. These quarters, while still a nice part of a collection, are typically worth just face value, 25 cents. However, the story changes when we look at coins that are in uncirculated condition, meaning they've never been used in circulation and have remained in pristine condition since they were minted. If you happen to have one of these uncirculated New Jersey quarters, especially one that is graded at MS 65 or higher, you could be holding on to something incredibly valuable. Grading is a system used by professional coin graders to determine the quality of a coin, and a high-grade coin will typically command a much higher price in the market, but there's more to the value of this coin than just its condition. Some minting errors can drastically increase the worth of a coin, and if your New Jersey quarter happens to have one of these rare defects, you could be in for a major surprise. Error coins are highly prized by collectors because they're unique. There are no other coins like them. For example, if your coin has an off-center strike, a double die, or any other noticeable flaw from the minting process, it could fetch a price well above the average. So, what does all of this mean for the value of the New Jersey quarter? Well, most of the coins from this series are not worth much beyond face value or a few dollars for those in excellent, uncirculated condition. However, the rare, uncirculated coins in mint condition, especially those with minting errors, can fetch staggering amounts. If you happen to find one that is graded MS-67 or higher, or if your coin features a unique error, you could see the value of your quarter soar. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for: how much can your New Jersey state quarter actually be worth? The most valuable New Jersey state quarters have been known to sell for as much as $67,000. Yes, you heard that correctly. $67,000 for a single quarter. Of course, finding a coin in that condition with such a high price tag is rare, but it just goes to show that sometimes, a small coin can hold a much larger value than you might ever expect. So, if you happen to have a New Jersey state quarter tucked away in your collection, it's worth taking a closer look. Be sure to inspect it for any signs of uncirculated condition, and check carefully for any errors or minting defects. If you're unsure about the condition of your coin, it might be a good idea to get it professionally graded by a reputable coin grading service. Before we wrap up, I just want to remind you that coin collecting is not only about the value but also about preserving and appreciating pieces of history. Each coin, like the New Jersey state quarter, tells a story about our nation's past and the people who shaped it. Who knows? You might just have a hidden treasure in your collection that could make you a small fortune. If you enjoyed learning about the New Jersey state quarter and want to discover more about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss a chance to explore the fascinating world of numismatics. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy collecting.